Thank you for joining us today. Welcome back to WAMS Webinar Wednesdays. Today I'm joined by Kathleen Kvitek, WAMS Director of Training, and Matt Morris, WAMS Account Manager. Now, for those unfamiliar or those of you just joining our webinars, I'll share a little bit about us. WAMS has been providing law firms and businesses with computer consulting and support services since '74. We continue our reputation for quality and service today by installing and proactively maintaining computer systems, as well as providing technology solutions for hundreds of law firms and businesses. Today we will cover what exactly is the cloud, why the WAMS cloud, and some benefits of moving to the cloud in general as well. We'll go ahead and address some security fears and an FAQ, frequently asked questions. Matt will go ahead and show you how we at WAMS use our cloud and leverage the WAMS Cloud Workspace. And then Kathleen will go ahead and go into a little more detail and give you a small demonstration of the WAMS Cloud Workspace. Today will be a little different since we are covering an FAQ. Please send all further questions to info@wamsinc.com and we will get back to you at our earliest availability. So let's go ahead and get started. First off, what exactly is the cloud? So to put it simply, just kind of keep in mind, if you use email or do online banking, you already operate in the cloud. A dictionary definition of what the cloud is the practice of using a network of remote servers hosted on the internet to store, manage, and process data, rather than a local server or a personal computer. And kind of WAM's definition is that cloud is synonymous with not owning your own hardware, but hosting it in a third location. Your computer is essentially your remote control. So you are leasing it. It's out there in the cloud. So what do you need? All you really need is an access device and, of course, an internet connection. You are transmitting keystrokes and video data. Your access point can be a lesser device because it is not an on-prem environment. In other words, you have a computer and you need an internet connection. It does not need to be high power at all. You always want as much internet as you can possibly get. It's important to make sure that every piece of the system is optimized for the best experience. This is why we do cloud readiness assessments, check network speeds, etc. You're only as fast as your slowest point, so we try to make all points equal. We ensure that your cloud will perform optimally and give your users the best experience. And as far as optimization goes, fast cloud does not mean fast internet. This is just one piece of the puzzle that ensures best possible performance. If there is an issue with speed, try to think of it as a freeway with 5 lanes. This is your bandwidth. How fast you go on the freeway is your latency. So things that affect latency include internet outages, environmental issues, and things of that nature. So traffic does move more slowly at Starbucks Wi-Fi versus your office Wi-Fi. Now, if you have slow internet, it's pretty simple, upgrade your circuits. A good rule of thumb given to us by our cloud director is 1 megabit per person. It's very important in assessing readiness for cloud. If you're not willing to upgrade, truthfully, you are not a good candidate for our cloud. Lack of desire to upgrade your bandwidth will affect your ability to work in the cloud. So when considering the cloud, you do need to remember that there is a difference, and you need to realize there is kind of a mindset shift here from capital costs as opposed to operating costs. Instead of buying things that you use for 7 years, you have everything new tomorrow and can upgrade or downgrade at any time. In the long run, this is far more cost effective. With the speed of changing technology, which we're seeing almost quarterly, if not more, it makes a lot more sense. You can't accurately plan for 6 years ahead and make an investment today. Of course, you can try, but you don't know how things will be 6 to 7 years from now. You don't buy a car today based on the family that you'll have in 7 years, right? Of course not. It makes more sense to lease it and get more hardware at the click of a button. So now I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Kathleen, and she will tell you a little bit more about why the WAMS Cloud Workspace is a little bit different, as well as some benefits of moving to the cloud.
Thank you, Ashley. What I would like to talk to you about today is the biggest difference between the WAMS Cloud Workspace and other offerings out there in the industry. Mainly, our delivery infrastructure is our biggest differentiator from our cloud environment to others out there. Citrix is our delivery infrastructure partner, which gives us the best security and compression to deliver an optimal performance. Amazon is our resource hosting partner. We use the Amazon computing platform and provision servers that are dedicated to our clients' requirements. Servers are powered and hosted by Amazon, and Amazon is the leader in the industry. So let's talk about other cloud solutions or workspaces. First of all, they mostly cap you at everything. The Amazon workspace is the equivalent of an entry-level machine, and therefore you can expect a lower horsepower by default. You would have to spend money on a more high-powered local machine to improve your speed and experience. Hybrid environments still rely on hardware and equipment located in your office, so you are not getting the benefit of a completely hosted cloud like you would with WAMS. We have found that competitors' hybrid environments are just slower. So, to summarize here, beware of solutions that claim to be cloud solutions but are actually a hybrid. As mentioned, Citrix is the leader in compression and security. Video is compressed, keystrokes are compressed, and all of them are in separate streams. So it is about a third faster than a standard Microsoft remote desktop. With Amazon workspaces and hybrid environments, there is a lot of network traffic being pushed around. Our cloud does not rely on network traffic, whereas Amazon workspaces and hybrid environments still rely on local equipment, which means there will be network traffic going back and forth, and that, simply put, is inherently slower. So the primary benefit of the WAMS Cloud Workspace is accessibility, basically being able to work from anywhere, from any device, which is not true of Amazon workspaces and hybrid environments. All you need is an internet connection and a web browser, and you can access your own cloud desktop from pretty much any computer, Mac, notebook, iPad, and even your phone. We do not require extra hardware or servers other than your data access points. And you do not have to worry about planning your technology so far ahead because when you are working in the cloud, you are inherently up to date with the latest technology. Also, as already mentioned, but extremely important to consider, Amazon as your hosting partner will make you inherently the most secure as they are the leader in the industry. You would be hard-pressed to create this type of security in your local office. So now Ashley is going to address some fears about security and some frequently asked questions.
Thank you, Kathleen. So as she said, these are some security fears and frequently asked questions as addressed by our cloud director, Bill Inman. Unfortunately, was not available to join us today, and so I'm kind of speaking on his behalf. We did kind of a little internal mock interview and wanted his responses to how he would answer these questions from our clients. So, first question, how secure is the WAMS Cloud Workspace? Everything in our solution is access control and encrypted end-to-end. We know who you are, and you get a private encrypted channel, so there is no data flowing back and forth. Because it is a cloud, all of that data is secure because you are not actually accessing the data wherever you are. If you are afraid to move to the cloud because of security, remember this. It is probably far more secure than your local office, as Kathleen kind of mentioned. Tier 4 data centers are literally guarded by armed guards. All of your traffic is encrypted. Now, you can get this locally, but it is rare and far more difficult. You actually enjoy the benefits of enhanced security when you strictly use the cloud. Or at least our cloud solution. I can't speak for all, of course. Next question. So, what about my local machine? And this is so important to understand. You are responsible for your local machine. If you don't feel secure, you probably aren't and probably could use some security training. Keep your passwords to yourself. Do not walk away from your device unlocked, and do not store your cloud password on your local machine. If your local machine is breached, your cloud workspace will still be safe. The more convenient you try to make your machine, the less secure you become. Next question. We are often asked what type of security requirements we see. Kind of like HIPAA, we see a lot of different security requirements depending on who you work with and your type of practice. You are less likely to meet the requirements required by many organizations that you work with when you try to do everything yourself to make your network secure. Amazon keeps up with the top security compliances and is the leader in the industry. Amazon actually exceeds Tier 4 standards because their own standards are even better. It would be extremely difficult to make your own office meet Tier 4 standards. And last but certainly not least, why is there downtime and what happens with updates? So there will be and always should be scheduled downtime. Every system needs that downtime to be updated. Citrix allows us to mitigate this because we have a master clone. So we can update a master during the day and push that image out to your clone in the evening for minimal distraction and interruption. People rarely experience downtime. There are unscheduled downtime and outages, but they are extremely rare and corrected very quickly. I think our last one was over 3 years ago. Scheduled downtime should be planned, and we do our best to mitigate that so your work is not affected. You will have more downtime and outages due to your own location, building, environmental issues than from working with us. Amazon standards for uptime are some of the best. And to help us show you how easy it is to use the WAMS workspace and break things down a little further, WAMS account manager Matt Morris is going to explain how he operates in the cloud and how easy it is to log on anywhere and get to work.
All right, thanks, Ashley and Kathleen, for having me and everybody tuning in. The cloud desktop is incredibly simple. I know whenever a lot of people hear about cloud, they start thinking, well, what changes am I going to be in for? And in reality, I mean, unless you're coming from an older operating system like a Windows 7 to the Windows 10, you have obviously that, but you're going to get that whether or not you're in the cloud or not. Basically, it's the same look and feel. The only difference being is that you are using your computer essentially as a remote control to navigate and visually see what's happening on a desktop that's somewhere else. One of the important things, obviously, is your internet connection. You want that to be quick, but other than that, everything is in the cloud. It works very, very quickly. You have an agent that sits on your local PC. So I guess one of the really cool things that I think about the cloud is that your internal office expenses can go down if you basically know the right things to buy instead of overspending for your typical desktop, which you would buy, anywhere from $800 to $1,400, depending on how powerful of a PC you would want for your inner office network. In the cloud, you don't have to do that because all your compute power is there in the cloud. Your local PC can be something very small. It could be a microcomputer to the tune of $400, $450, $500, depending on what you want there. But it doesn't have to have a lot of power because again, all your power is in the cloud. So just a nice thing that I like to bring up because whenever you're talking about refreshing office computers, that's a large expense for a firm or for any company for that matter. So something to note. Working in the cloud, really, whenever I first started, the one thing that that kind of took me off guard was knowing the difference between my local PC and my cloud PC. So the way that I like to log in is through the browser. That populates my screen to make it look like it's the cloud, or to make it look like it's your basic desktop, which it is. but sometimes you can get confused if you don't have a different wallpaper for your cloud desktop and for your local desktop. So my first use in the cloud, I kind of got confused on that, but after that happened one time, I never forgot it. But I think it's an important thing to note whenever you are transitioning to set different backgrounds, and that way you know where you are, and when you go start looking for applications on your virtual desktop, but you're on your local PC, you can't find it. You start getting frustrated and calling your IT people, and we go back to, hey, this is you're on your local PC, get on your cloud. But anyway, so just knowing the difference between the two and how to toggle in between the two, which is a really cool feature. But going into your cloud desktop, it's just as if you had a Windows 10 desktop in front of you. It's the same thing, same look and feel. It's easy for our team to be able to manage the cloud infrastructure whenever you have requests for anything, whether it's creating a new user or whether it's fixing a sign-on or helping out with an application that's having an issue. We can do it rather quickly instead of having to call one of our guys and try to set up scheduling to have him drive out and to do that work, to expand storage space or to add a new user. It's done simply by, I say simply, but it seems very simple for our guys because they get it done so quickly. But at really the click of a button, they can manage and maintain this stuff. So another cool aspect of this is really you're operating at the speed of business and really at corporate business because they're the pioneers of this stuff. And now small and medium-sized companies are seeing the benefits of it, which is very cool.
Thank you so much for that, Matt. Great explanation. And so to show you how easy it is to use the WAMS Workspace, Kathleen is going to go ahead and give you a little demo. So we'll pass it over to her.
Thank you so much, Ashley. So what you guys are looking at right now is actually my own laptop desktop. That's my little doggie. She makes me really happy. So I can work on my local laptop if I need to, but that's not where our WAMS cloud resides, and that's not where the documents are that I use for business on a daily basis. There are two main ways to log into the WAMS Cloud Workspace. My preference, as is Matt's, is to use a browser. Now I've already set up a shortcut, which we will do for you on my desktop. So if I just double click on this icon on my desktop, you'll notice that it takes me directly to a browser. The web address is my.wamscloudconnect.com, and this is our login screen. This is exactly what you would see if you had the WAMS Cloud Workspace. Now, if you did not have this shortcut set up already, I'm going to give you a little bonus training. And what I mean by bonus training is that you can create a shortcut to a web page on your desktop at any time. And of course, this will make life much easier for you when you want to get onto the WAMS Cloud yourself. If I launch Chrome and I type in my.wamscloudconnect.com, it will take me to that same login screen. Now, if I want to create a desktop icon for this, all I have to do is highlight the address and drag it to the desktop. Now, you can do this for any website that you visit on a regular basis, and you can even create the shortcut like this once you're in the cloud to websites that you visit all the time. Now, you notice that I highlighted and dragged this to the desktop. That's the way you need to do it if you're using Chrome. If you're using Internet Explorer, you're going to launch the browser. You're going to put in the my.wamscloudconnect web address. And you're going to drag right from the icon right here to pin a shortcut to your desktop. So from now on, whether you've created your shortcut through Chrome or whether you've created your shortcut through Internet Explorer, it's here on the desktop. You don't have to type in that my.wamscloudconnect.com address again. You're just going to double click the icon from your local desktop. And there's your login screen. This is exactly what you will see if you were logging into the WAMS Cloud. I'm going to put in my username, which is my email address. And I'm going to put in my password. And as Ashley noted earlier, you don't want to save your password to be on the safe side. So I'm going to say no thank you to saving my password, and then I'm going to just click to launch the cloud desktop. So just like that, I'm now connected to our Office Cloud Workspace. I can be sitting anywhere on this with this laptop, in an airport, in Starbucks, at my home, obviously in the office, but this is what I do to log in every day, and this is going to give me access to my desktop. Once we log into the desktop, Matt noted earlier that one of the things sometimes people have trouble with at the very beginning when getting used to using the cloud is how to be able to tell the difference between your local computer and your cloud desktop. Well, I've done two things to make it very easy for myself. First of all, our WAMS Workspace logo is right here on my cloud desktop. And anytime you're logged into the cloud, you will always see the toolbar up top here. And if I click that drop-down arrow and I choose Home, I'm going to minimize my browser window here. There's my little doggy. So there is no confusion as to whether I'm working locally or working in the cloud. I just click the little monitor icon down below, and now again, I'm on my cloud desktop. And that's all there is to it. Now, what I want to do is show you that I can log off this desktop very quickly by going to the sign out icon right here and show you how you can log in using our other option, which is the Citrix receiver instead of using a browser. Now, one of the reasons why I want to show you the Citrix receiver is that if you're using another device, like an iPad or like your phone, you will use the Citrix receiver app. So although it's going to look the same once you're logged in, the experience of getting logged in is just a little bit different. But just keep in mind, the browser is always an option for you on any computer, pretty much anywhere you go. I'm going to select the Citrix Receiver app, which I already have installed, and I have a shortcut on my desktop. I'm going to click the WAMS Virtual Desktop icon here. It does have my username, but not my password saved, so I'll put my password in. And then I'm going to log on. So it's really not much different, and it's also just as quick, but this is what you would see if you were using your iPad or using your phone to log in. Similar also if you happen to be using a Mac, same thing. You're going to use the Citrix Receiver app instead of using a browser. But once we log in, you're going to see this is the exact same desktop that you saw when I logged in using the Chrome browser or the Internet Explorer browser. So we just really want you to understand how seamless and easy and simple it is from any device, pretty much anywhere you go, to get to your desktop. All my files are there. You can see if you look at my desktop, I have shortcuts that are relevant to me. I have saved some documents on my desktop. I've got shortcuts to folders on my desktop, and these are all backed up. I don't like to have a messy desktop. I don't like to have lots of icons and documents and files on my desktop, but if you like to have a lot of shortcuts and icons on your desktop, you are able to customize it as you wish. And to reiterate, everything that you save once you're logged into the cloud is backed up. And that is just something that we just can't express enough how important that is. If I go to my local computer, anything I save right now on my local computer is not backed up, right? This is on my laptop hard drive, which means that if anything were to happen to my laptop, those files would be gone. However, if I just pop back over and I work exclusively out of my cloud desktop, everything I do right now in our cloud is completely safe and backed up. If you needed to transfer files from your local computer to the cloud or vice versa, it's very easy. I've actually created a shortcut to it, and that is something that we would do when we set you up in the cloud. So it's not something you would need to worry about. It's something that I would train you on. So I hope you have enjoyed the demonstration and just gotten a feel for how easy it is for you to use and work in our WAMS Cloud Desktop. I'm going to turn it back over again now to Ashli, and thank you for listening to our demo.
Thanks so much, Kathleen. Now remember, if you need any additional training, WAMS can always help. Kathleen does training both remotely and in-house. These can be group sessions or one-on-one. We offer total customization to whatever you need. And we can do training on general software, legal software, custom macro packages, Microsoft Office, document management systems, security training, and of course, we do fully customized training whenever you hop onto our cloud solution as well. If you'd like any more information about that, email us at info@wamsinc.com to learn more. And of course, if you're curious as to how we make your technology solution the best it can be, WAMS offers managed services, cloud services, projects and consulting, security auditing and implementation, disaster recovery, and training. We can be reached at 800-421-7151 and wamsinc.com. And once again, remember, if you have any additional questions, please shoot them over to info@wamsinc.com. That's info@wamsinc.com. Thank you again so much for joining us today, and be sure to tune in next month for our webinar with NetDocuments. We'll see you then.